It was 1993, I think, or 4. And I had gotten a deal at Warner Brothers, like an old-time writing deal, where I was exclusive to Warner's and wrote and had an office there. And I lived miles away. And I got a fax. And faxes were so incredible that I didn't have one in my house. And I had one in my office. So I was all excited. I'm going to go see what my fax is that I have at Warner Brothers. And one of my sons was not in school yet. He was 3, Martin. And I put him in my car. We're off to Warner Brothers. And he had just watched Treasure Island 15 times. And luckily, I only had to sit through it with him 7 times. So that was good. But he had a pair of plastic binoculars, and he was looking out the window of the car the whole way. Like, I don't know how he didn't get seasick and throw up. But every time I'd say, Martin, what are you looking at? And he'd say, I see gold, because of Treasure Island and all that stuff. And we crossed the 405 freeway, and Martin, what are you looking at? I see gold. The whole way. And we get to the parking lot at Warner Brothers. I have my own spot, which they haven't put my name on the footing yet, but they're gonna. And I think it was like 1997 when they finally put my name on the footing. But it's the greatest film studio on earth. And pulling into his parking spot outside his office is the greatest film director on earth, Richard Donner. And I had seen him many times in the parking lot, sometimes in his Porsche, sometimes in his some old Cadillac. You know, it was always a different car, but it was one of his Rolls Royces that day. And he's getting his script out of the back of his trunk, and I'm just thinking, my God, it's Dick Donner, you know. It's unbelievable, there he is. And my son's walking next to me with the binoculars. And Dick turns around, and he doesn't see me, he just sees this kid walking with the binoculars. And he goes, and he almost walks up into him, and he goes, hey! And my son looks up at him. And Dick says, what are you looking at? And my son says, I see gold. And Dick said, you're goddamn right you do. And then he looked at me and he said, what do you do? And I said, I'm a screenwriter. And he said something like, oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm like, you know, I hope you get better. And 3 days later, I got a call. And 4 days after that, I was working for Dick Donner.